Andre, your first impression is your last impression.
That's good.
Anywhere in the world, right?
Yeah.
That's you have to treat every day like $1 million day.
Action Takers University. Action Takers University. Action Takers University. Action Takers University. Let's go! Let's action! Level up! Action Takers University.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is TJ with the Show Me Better podcast. And I got a special guest. He has interviewed a ton of millionaires. I've been all over the country shooting video for different personalities and Action Takers University, baby. Let's go.
Y'all know what time it is, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. What's good?
And so we're going to be asking some questions and I'm sure providing plenty of value to those that are listening.
Let's do it, man.
After interviewing a lot of these millionaires, what would you say is the one thing that wealthy people understand that average people completely miss?
For me, interviewing millionaires and billionaires around the country, the biggest thing a lot of millionaires and billionaires understand is what we call leverage. So they learn how to leverage other people's money, other people's systems, and other people's audiences. A lot of people in this world, they try to save their way to wealth. I should tell you right now, bro, if you watch this video right now and you think you can save your way to wealth, it ain't gonna happen, right? You could go far with your money, you go even further with other people's money. So OPM, they call it OPM, so leveraging OPM, other people's money. You could work for 10, how long you think it would take you, TJ, to work on a job to save up $300,000?
Man, bro, it takes some time, probably a decade or so.
A decade, right?
Yeah.
But how long you think it'll take you probably to get approved for $25,000? Maybe like 24 hours,
yeah,
right? With the right business structure.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you can scale fast with your money, but you can scale even further with other people's money. So that's one thing I learned that wealthy people realize early. Number two, they realize how to leverage other people's audiences. Yeah. Because most people in today's time, we try to grow audience on our own. But why we grow audience on our own, we grow with someone else's audience faster. Right. You jump the line, you skip the line.
Right. For those that are watching, when you say like leveraging other people's platform or like their influence, how would you say is the best way to be able to get connected? Because not everybody is willing to share their platform.
So the first way to get connected is people not going to support you for your offer. They support you for your value. It's almost like running around a track. Yeah. Run the 400 meter, right?
Yeah.
You got to run the full race. Right. So the more laps we put in video, people start to realize who you is. They start to see you. And then, like I say, Kim Kardashian didn't reach out to me, so I got to reach out to her.
Right. Type
of thing. So not everybody going to respond. Some people might say yes, some people might be curious, but the more social proof you have on your social media page, and you reach out to these people, they say, okay, he interviewed this person, that person, this person. Yeah. They not 9 times out of 10 they would say, oh yeah, let me give this guy an opportunity.
So what I'm hearing you say is, in order to be able to get people to want to share their platform with you, you got to get in front of because for a lot of people, they try to get people to invest in them, whether it's time or energy or money, but instead of like actually taking the time to get out in front of a bunch of people, it's a lot easier to get more people to say yes if you're out in front of more people. But like that rejection hits different when you only been in front of 5 people as opposed to being in front of 50 people.
So it's almost like, bro, you got to crawl before you walk, right? Everybody in this world, they trying to become famous. Everyone want to go viral. Everyone do these things.
Right.
But one thing I learned about social media is that every time you post a video on social media to the algorithm, only 3.5% of your followers see your post. Yeah. So you might be thinking, hey, like I got 1 million followers, right? Right. But every time you post a video, if you have 3.5% of people seeing your video every time you post a video, that's the same people posting to every day. Right. So the formula I think that I realized in 2026 is that leveraging other people's audiences, you basically skip the line. Because if he have 100,000 followers, it only take 10% of his followers to see me to get 10,000 followers to see me, right? So if I keep leveraging other people's audiences, I'll scale faster on social media. Yeah. For example, you got LeBron James and you got Steph Curry, right? LeBron James might have about 100-some million followers, right? Steph Curry might have another 100-some million followers, right? But when they only go so far with their following, but when Team USA come together, it becomes bigger than the followers. It becomes like a partnership type of thing. So I feel like you scale faster. You can scale fast on your own, but you can scale it becomes even bigger when it becomes like Team USA. Right. Make sense?
Right. I would say is it sounding like is most important is that number one, you use other people's money, which we'll ask a question here in just a second about that. But number two, using other people's platforms, their social media, different things like that. And the way that you kind of get to that is by putting yourself in front of them. So I'm sure that you would probably agree to this. It probably takes a lot of either failure or flop of you just trying to get out there before you get to the point where you can start having people to trust you. Yeah. Because you can't just put out like trash content, or you can't just put out things that you would enjoy. You also have to give the people what they want.
And that's another thing too. With content, you don't just put out any content. If people don't know you, they can't follow you, right?
Yeah,
right.
Good.
So if you putting out content that saying you go to the movies, right? I ain't paying my $25 to come to the movies for a stupid movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
You have to give quality to get quality back.
Yeah.
And from people see the quality in your content is value-based content.
Yeah.
Value-based content in 2026 is one of the fastest ways to scale your social media, because if you posting about yourself all the time, it's like, oh, it's all about me. But if people could watch you and learn from you at the same time, it's value-based content. So I feel like in 2026, value-based content is one way to get your platform seen. If my friend watching this video and my friend say, hey, I see her on the page, they can watch it even faster. Right. But if it's all about me, they gotta learn exactly who I is.
Right.
I feel like if you bring value in your content and also quality too, and also put in the reps, because like I say, you can't just have 5 videos and say, hey, Kim Kardashian, I want to be on your page. Right. They might even answer you back.
Right.
Like one time I reached out to this guy, Myron Golden, right? Yeah. And his team was like, hey, you need 50 videos. We need to see at least 50 videos before we could say yes or no to even being on this page. So they want to see a bunch of reps, bro.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff, man. Would you say that right now you got a pretty good sized following, right? And so it's from all the different reps that you've been putting in, like you were telling us. What would you say if you were starting over today in 2026? You don't have the followers that you had before, and you were trying to rebuild to where you could get to the place where you're at now. Like, what would be 3 to 5 things that you would do now that will put you in a place where it'd be closer to what it is that you're trying to?
So if I had 0 followers today, the first thing I would do is I would buy a nice quality camera, which is your phone. Everybody got a phone. Yeah. So you don't need a camera to make good content. Once you have a good quality phone that can shoot in like 4K, you want 4K. So I would say the first thing is I'll have a phone. Everybody got a phone. Yeah. Number 2, what I do is I would be at all. If I want to be an interviewer or I want to be seen, I'll be at all the big events. Yeah. You got to stand in the cold. Man, people ain't willing to stand in the cold. If you want to get yourself out there, Rick Ross ain't coming to you. You got to go to Rick Ross. Yeah. So if I trying to see Rick Ross, I got to go to the car show. Right. Right. If I trying to see Steve Harvey, T.I., I got to go to the Invest Fest. Right. You see what I'm saying? So the second thing I do is get at that event to get myself out there. Yeah. And number 3 is I would print out 2,000 business cards, bro, with my social media on it, and give it out at the event. And make sure before I leave, I put that card in their hand. Hey, could you follow my social media? 1 follower, 2 follower, 3 followers till you get to 2,000 followers. That's what I would do. That'll be 3 steps I would do. Don't care what content you're doing. You're gonna put yourself out there faster. Get in front of the big name people, because it's basically social proof, or like influencer reinforcement. Right. If I see Andre interviewing Rick Ross, I can watch faster. Right. If I see Andre interviewing my cousin, I might be like, I don't know if I can watch that. Right. Type of thing. So influencer reinforcement. That's the 3 things I would do.
Makes sense, bro. Something to kind of go off what you're saying. We see examples of that all over the place. There are different like content creators that get together. There's even things like content creator houses, right, where they do their own separate like content creation, and then after they do that, they also sometimes do content together, so that way that they can maximize who they have in that house. Good place to start is absolutely getting in front of, and then after we get in front of people, making sure that you are adding value, right? And then also not just adding value, but getting in front of people. Yes. And so that's a good place to start. Tell me a little bit, not a whole lot, but just a little bit of the background. What kind of inspires you to have the energy? You got positive energy. Yeah. As soon as you come into a room, in a lot of situations, because obviously we know each other in real life, like you bring energy to certain situations, and it's not the same energy every time. Like it's a variety of it. So like, kind of speak a little bit to what inspires like that about you.
So what inspires me every day is, the first thing is, how I look at life is, from you wake up in the morning, bro, to alive, right? That's how I look at life. Growing up in the Bahamas, my mom would say, Andre, your first impression is your last impression.
That's good.
Anywhere in the world, right? Yeah. You have to treat every day like $1 million day. Yeah. If I say to you right now, TJ, hey TJ, if I give you $1 million right now, would you take the $1 million? Yeah. You take the $1 million, right? Yeah. But if I give you $1 million today and I say you can't wake up tomorrow, would you take the $1 million?
Absolutely not.
You wouldn't take the $1 million because you know the value of life, right? Correct? Yeah. So what that means is you should treat every day like $1 million day. So $1 million day to me is looking the best, smelling the best, feeling the best. When you reach a room, they don't know you, they can't flow you. Where we live in, everyone is so like people driven and all these other things that drive them. But I feel like you should be high on life. If you can't smell me before you see me, you know what I mean?
Starting the experience before you even open your mouth, which is you already got a powerful voice. Like the texture of your voice is already something that attracts people, right? But part of the experience you also do, and anybody that has met you in real life, they can smell that you smell good. They see that you look good. Like one of the first things that I noticed about you the first time that I met you when we was at that football game is that you dressed to impress. And it wasn't like a one-off type of thing. No. Like it was literally every time that I have seen you, you have taking the time to present yourself in a way that people remember Dre, right? And so, man, I think that's such good advice, especially for those that are, because Show Me Better podcast is literally about leaving something to the next generation to where they're able to take what they're hearing, and it could be mistakes that I've made, it could be positive things that I've done and influences that I have made in the lives of different people. But it's all about sharing both my mistakes and my successes, and leaving it for those that don't maybe have access to a parent or a dad that necessarily have the best of life experience. It might be.
I gotta ask you a question.
Absolutely.
So do you feel like a dad plays a big role in a young man's presentation?
I would love to hear your answer actually, but I'll answer the question to you. It is absolutely pivotal that a young person, not just a young man, but a young person has a father figure or a father. And one of the biggest reasons why there's a ton of statistics that talk about that a person who didn't have a parent in their life are like 70% less likely to go to church, less likely to, and the percentages are different, but they are less likely to have positive choices whenever they're going to make decisions on different things like relationships, different things like their willpower to be able to like make a difference in the way that they can. They're more likely to go to jail. They're more likely to have babies outside of marriage. They're more likely to do all of these different things that it's not that you can't be successful in those different situations, but like it just makes life more difficult because you put more, the weight of morality is so heavy on the dad, and it's because God made for us to like be the leaders in our families. Like he made us in a lot of situations stronger. He made us more strategic in certain parts of life. Again, it's not that women are not an important role, but the stats don't lie, man. And so that's how I would answer that question. What about you?
I feel like a father figure plays a big role in anything in life, because like I say, it's almost to the point of like, with my daddy being in my life, I feel like my daddy showed me the way, like even though my dad passed away, but my dad showed me how to clean my shoes, how to show up good, how to smell good, how to cut your hair, how to stay groomed. So it played a big role in my upbringing, yes.
Yeah. How would you, because you're married now.
Yes.
How would you say that having a dad in your life has affected even how you go into marriage? How
it affects me is I feel like my dad and mom was a power couple. Right? Black love, right? Power couple, right?
Yeah.
So my mom and dad was a powerful couple. They never argued in front of us. They never, like, they were just this happy couple, bro. You know what I mean? So I feel like seeing that growing up as a child, growing up in a full home, it was like, okay, cool. If my daddy get married, I should get married too. You know what I mean? So I feel like that played a big role in me getting married too, because like I say, I see my parents together. I see how they was happy together. I see how they grow together as person. I see like every 5 years they change, you know.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was good too. Yes.
That's good, man. I like the idea of it being something that's important to you, to have watched something that has happened, and then like the things that make sense, you applying those things. Because in some situations, like kind of what we see is like people make decisions that don't necessarily make sense like for real life. They just make sense on paper. Right? And so like an example of that is even looking at social media. Sometimes we see in real life, and I won't go into detail. We were talking about something earlier and we were talking about a situation in a person that it looks like something may be successful, but we don't know for real because we don't have direct access to it. And I think that that's one of the both the beauties and some of the things that can kind of be complicated about social media is the fact that a lot of times we look at things and we see it and we're like, oh, I want to have that, but we don't really count the cost. And I think that's one of the reasons why fathers or father figures are so important. And even in some cases like moms, we have those conversations, right, to where we're looking at something and we're pursuing like a certain ambition and we're like, man, I really want to ... when realistically it may not be the right thing for us to be able to like pursue because we don't have enough life experience. We hadn't experienced it in a certain way. We see that it looks like it'll taste good. We see that it looks like it'll feel good. It'll make us go to the next level. And so this will kind of be my last question for you. What would you say is a situation that maybe you went to pursue something and you got there and you realized it wasn't all that it cracked up to be?
College.
Oh, okay. Tell me more about that.
So the biggest thing I learned is that, ask the question one more time. Ask it one more time.
Yeah. What was the situation where you thought that something was going to be a really good experience, and then you got there and realized it wasn't what you were expecting?
Man, I would say college, bro.
Yeah, okay.
Let me tell you why I say that, because
yes,
this is how I feel personally, right? So I feel like you could teach a skill, you can't teach talent. That got to be in you.
That's true.
Right? You could teach a skill all day. You can learn these skills, the skill set of this, skill set of that.
Right.
But you don't got that talent in you, it needs to look right. So what I've learned is that college is good for certain careers. That's how I feel. Everyone has their own belief on college. Some people say you should go, some people say you shouldn't go.
Yeah.
I feel like you should go for certain careers. But my biggest thing is, if my goal in life is to be an entrepreneur and make millions of dollars, and my professor is not even making $1 million salary, why am I learning from him? Right?
I feel you.
So
I got a bit of a hot take though.
Okay.
And I want you to think about it like this, right? You are a 1 in a million person. Like, you're a 1 in a million talent. And the way, the energy, your ability to be able to build quick connections with people is 1 in a million. Not everybody has that skill set. Okay. So I'm not saying that everybody should go to college, right? Because there's some people that are just dogs out the gate, right? They just got it in them. They have a desire. They got a vision. They know what they want to do. They know that if they take the first step, then the other 100 steps are going to come. Most people are not like that, right? And so college may be a good step for some people because maybe they struggle building quick connections. So they play the long game of college. They hop in. It's not even necessarily about the education. It's more about the atmosphere that creates people, or creates a place where people can feel more comfortable going after what it is.
And then that's what I learned too. It's almost like even when it comes to atmosphere in college, right? You go to a college, right? Go on a college campus, feel out the atmosphere. It could be solid, But when I went there, like when I got to college, I was experiencing the atmosphere. I was there. Everyone had low energy, you know what I mean? Everyone was stressed out from these classes.
Yeah.
But what I never understood with college was, and I want you to answer this for me. Tell me how you feel about this, right?
Yeah.
What I never understood about college is that, imagine going to college for 4 years, right?
Yeah.
You go to 4 years, right? And people might say, oh, it's a scam.
Yeah.
In my term, scam stands for still confused about money. That's what I think scam is, right? So I think you're still confused about money, right?
Yeah.
But my biggest thing is, imagine going to college for 4 years, learning from a teacher who ain't even making $1 million salary.
Yeah.
You learn this skill set.
Yeah.
You ain't got no talent, and you still got to go apply for a job afterwards.
Yeah.
So that's what I never understood. So like I say, I agree with you. College is good for certain people, for the atmosphere, to learn how to connect with people.
Yeah.
But I feel like, realistically speaking, connecting with people is a talent. That's a God-given talent.
Yeah.
You can learn
so
that.
You don't feel like you don't feel like you can learn that talent?
I feel like you can learn how to connect with people, but it's almost like, put it like this: whenever I meet somebody in this world, I feel like when I meet people in the world, I could say, hey, my name is Andre Kemp. I'm from Action Takers University. And they can look at me and say, I don't care.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
So the biggest thing I think people value is what you could do for me.
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like whenever I build relationships with people, I could say to them, I think why I connect so good, and y'all can take this tip too. I feel like why I connect so good with people is because I'd be like, okay, my name is Andre Kemp. I'm from Action Takers University. I grew one of the biggest social media platforms in the Caribbean. It sounds crazy to you, but what can I do to level up your business?
Right.
Now they won't listen.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. So, but not everybody has done that, right? Not everybody has that experience of, I have done such and such. So you speaking from a place where you are already successful.
That's true.
But speak from the perspective, and this will be to kind of wrap it up. Speak from the perspective of like Andre Kemp, the young guy that got that camcorder out doing the interviews, or the one that maybe hadn't even touched the cam, and he's just trying to find the right ways to be able to make connection with people so that you could get what it is that you want, whether it's shoes, whether it's the attention of the girlies, whatever.
Okay, so my best advice to a young man right now, if you're a young man watching this podcast right now, and you have no experience, you just have a dream, this is what we're going to do, okay? First thing I tell you, young man watching this, or young lady watching this, is dreams without action is just sleep. So if you're dreaming, you don't put no work in, you're just sleeping. The next thing I can tell you guys is you can't go somewhere you've never been before. You're not going to drive to Atlanta, Chicago, or Milwaukee without a GPS. You get lost. So my best advice to you is find the people who've been where you're trying to go. Get a mentor.
That's good.
Right? So that's my advice to you. Get a mentor. Get someone who's been where you're trying to go. But don't just get any mentor. Copy the right cat.
Yeah.
Because you could copy the wrong cat too. You see what I'm saying?
That's true.
And then the next thing is, once you get in the feel of doing what you're doing, you start to learn from this mentor. Sometimes some people don't need to be a mentor for a season.
Yeah.
Because you could have a mentor, but you might outgrow your mentor too.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my advice to you too is, when you get a mentor, or if you get someone who can mentor you to get where you need to go, you say, okay, now cool, we doing videos, we getting somewhere with this video thing. But the minute they say, hey, let's go play some video games, find another mentor. You know what I mean? Don't stick around because they ain't on the same path as you. So sometimes in life, like I say, you can go somewhere you never been before. So find a mentor, like I say, and after you find this mentor, you start to get good at what you do. Sometimes you have to keep paying for mentorship. One of my mentors that I had before, he said, man, he spent over $375 for mentorship. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I feel like mentorship never stops. Yeah. The more levels you climb, it's like most people go to college for something called an MBA. Yeah. Right? MBA is like this degree. Yeah. Right? But some people, entrepreneurs, their MBA is a major bank account. Right. MBA. Right? You see what I'm saying? Right. So I feel like different people have different interests. And like I say, if you are a young man watching this video right now and you don't have a clear vision you want to do, find a mentor. Yeah. Get somebody who been where you're trying to go, and then invest other people's money. Don't invest your money. Yeah. Don't do that. The bank giving out free money. You know what I mean? So invest other people's money. That's my advice to them. Yeah, yeah. So number one, I feel like you would say all of those things within balance, right? Because some of the things that every dream requires is somebody to share it with, right? Unless you are completely satisfied with being alone, dying alone, living alone, unless you're satisfied with, some people are like that, right? But unless you're satisfied with that type of life, you want to make sure that you do all those things that you were saying, because I agree with what you're saying, within balance. So what that balance looks like are things like, number one, keeping God first. Oh yeah, right? Put it back there one more time. Yeah, my bad, y'all. Keeping God first. And let me ask you, do you think mentorship is important? Absolutely. So what I call mentorship, or I would refer to mentorship, is in some capacity, especially whenever it comes to the things of faith, like, is discipleship. Right? We take a look at the way that Jesus came. Right? Jesus came real humbly to essentially a poor single mom, right? We know she wasn't actually single because she had God taking care of her. But in the Jewish culture, what was happening during that time was they would send their kids off for a period of time to learn the Torah, to learn the customs and the things that they were supposed to be doing as a rabbi. And then if they weren't successful enough to be able to step into being a rabbi, then they went to learn their father's trade. Again, went to be mentored, right? So we're really just talking about two separate types of mentorship, to where one went to do their father's trade, which may have been tent making, fishing, fill in the blank with whatever it is, and then
the other ones were to be mentored more to become rabbis, to become people who are influential in others' faith for a period of time. And so I would say mentorship is so important, because how do we learn? Again, some people just naturally are futuristic. They have a vision, but even those people have to have somebody to at least tell them, hey, this is possible. It don't matter what it is, it's possible. And then you need the right person to tell you, this is possible. These are some of the steps that I took that were wrong. These are some of the steps that I took that are right to be able to get to the place where you're trying to get.
Wow. That's powerful, man. That's powerful, bro. Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, man, Dre, it has been great.
Where can they find you on social media?
They can find anything. Show Me Better podcast, whether it is TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all of the things. How can they find you?
Man, y'all can find me all over the street. No, hey, y'all can find me on Action Takers University on all social media platforms. You're an entrepreneur watching this video right now. You want to get an interview somewhere in the USA, you know what I mean? I come in, you know what I mean? And like I say, Action Takers University, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Instagram really be, but I trying to be. Hey, another thing to y'all, be omnipresent. So be everywhere. You know what I mean? But that's where you can find me on Action Takers University.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, bro, thank you so much for coming to the Show Me Better podcast.
Let's go.
We're also on Spotify.
Oh yeah.
And so, man, before long, we're gonna get this guy on his own podcast so he can start providing.
Yeah, y'all. So if you see me start a podcast. This DJ, man. This is a mastermind podcast, yo. I feel like one day he got a podcast course.
Yeah, hey, maybe so, man.
You never know.
So, but we'll wrap it up with that. And again, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
On the podcast, bro.
Yeah.
Yes, bro.
All right, bro.
Yes, bro.